So over the last couple of years, I've had several trail cameras record some interesting footage of New York timber rattlesnakes at hibernacula, basking, and/or birthing rookery sites, some of which has been shown in previous videos. Now for this production, I thought it would be neat to compile of what I think are the top 10 best trail cam captures of timber rattlesnakes over the last 2 years. Okay, so number 10, along with 3 other trail cam captures on the top 10 list, occurred at my favorite birthing rookery. In a few seconds here, this eastern garter snake gets a little spooked when a rattlesnake brushes up against it. However, this recording, in addition to others, has highlighted that gravid female garter snakes share and get cozy with gravid timber rattlesnakes at the same communal birthing rookeries. Over the last 16 years, I've had the opportunity to observe a range of timber rattlesnake behaviors, including notable ones such as combat dances and mating. Yet surprisingly, after all this time spent in the field with this iconic reptile, I have never come across one in the simple act of drinking water. Well, at least one of the trail cams captured some of them doing just that, this clip being my favorite. Regarding trail cam footage of timber rattlesnake hibernacula, success varied depending on settings, camera placement, and the den site chosen. So far, most of my favorite hibernaculum trail cam captures have occurred at this small ledge den, one of which is number 2 on the overall countdown, so stay tuned for that. But for now, this emergence clip, with several timbers creeping out of this elevated den crevice, comes in at number 8. Some of the more interesting trail cam footage at timber rattlesnake den sites and basking birthing areas is when other wildlife made cameos, especially when these animals had some form of interaction with the snakes. But what is surprising are the number of potential rattlesnake prey that have shown up on the cams in close proximity to one of their chief predators. Some white-footed mice, in fact, seem to live right in the den structures themselves, seemingly oblivious to the threat. Granted, these snakes are too chilled and lethargic to feed on their rodent roommates, but come spring, as seen here, these mice are fair game. Out of the series, this is my favorite clip. That mouse couldn't fit in that crevice now, even if it had a death wish. Not a mouse here, but this raccoon seems just as oblivious, and I consider this clip as a runner-up for number 7. What is particularly intriguing about timber rattlesnakes is their communal behavior, most notably at den sites and birthing rookeries. And it is at these birthing rookeries where one can encounter a dozen or more gravid females basking in large shifting piles. And at my favorite birthing rookery, I have witnessed this numerous times. But it was one of my trail cams set up at this site that officially captured the largest pile. Regarding fall migration, most New York timber rattlesnakes are situated in their dens by mid-October, and surface activity dramatically decreases after this period. However, if conditions are suitable, these snakes can be observed basking in November, and on mild winter days, 1 or 2 might be seen on the surface at a few select dens. What has surprised me, as this footage reveals, is that November basking is more common than I originally thought. In fact, I suspect there might be an uptick in basking, at least at some den sites, the first half of November compared to the end of October, due to the simple reason that by November 1, most of the tree foliage has dropped, allowing more sunlight to reach the forest floor that surrounds hibernacula. This also seems to be the case for at least one Massachusetts copperhead den site I visit, where I have seen more on the surface the first half of November compared to the last 10 days of October. It should be noted that this uptick in November basking regarding these pit vipers is still a small percentage of any given population, and broadly speaking, it is still accurate from a species perspective that timber rattlesnakes and their smaller cousins remain in their hibernacula between mid-October and mid-April or early May. My trail cams have captured numerous black bears in rattlesnake country, some within close proximity of the snakes themselves. But it wasn't until early autumn of this year that one recorded the first interaction between a timber rattlesnake and a bear. And as you can see, the bear is effectively scared off by the snake's rattle. Here is a different bear, quote, interacting with another one of my trail cams in the area. And in this case, the camera lost out big time. Male timber rattlesnakes will occasionally compete over receptive females by engaging in combat dances, which are essentially wrestling matches where one male tries to repeatedly knock its opponent to the ground. This nocturnal combat dance, recorded by one of my trail cams, offers front row seats of the match and captures the moment one is declared winner. Watching again in slow motion, you can see the dominant male actually punches its opponent, forcing its chin to slam into the rock. The losing male takes a short break before crawling away in defeat. For a while, I have suspected that if any of my trail cams captured interactions between bobcats and rattlesnakes, the resulting footage could be interesting. Well, I am pleased to report that I was right on that score, and such interactions round out the top 2 spots on our countdown. Okay, so let's revisit the small ledge den on a wet early May day, when this bobcat at first becomes startled by the rattlesnakes in the ledge crevice, and then begins swatting at them. Apparently the cat backs up for about a half a minute before advancing once more for a renewed assault. The feline's blows appear to be glancing, however, and don't seem to injure any of the snakes seriously. The camera was not triggered again by the bobcat after this clip, so it appears it left the area to hunt for less risky prey. Back to our favorite birthing rookery, the same one we visited a couple times already during this countdown. This footage of rattlesnake neonates was filmed at the site in September 2021, and in a few seconds we are going to head atop this birthing rock for our number 1 timber rattlesnake trail cam footage. Okay, so let's watch that again in slow motion. Mother bobcat seems to notice one rattlesnake up off to her left, while her kit doesn't even register the big black female it is about to step on, until she moves and begins to rattle, causing the terrified kit to nearly launch itself off the ledge. I don't know about you, but I find this footage interesting and entertaining in equal parts. Well, I know there is a lot of top 10 lists out there, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If so, please consider subscribing. Thank you.